2 is called Ninth Key, and ever since the final events of book 1, Suze and Jesse have been getting along. So she decides she wants to learn more about him and possibly how he died. And she does some digging based on what he said and the help of her friend Cece, who wants to be a journalist when she grows up and works for the school newspaper. Jesse was the son of a rancher, not a cowboy. He's very sensitive about that, okay? He doesn't wear a cowboy hat. And Susie thinks he died because she was shot in her house and, like, there's actual framed bullet holes in this old house. So, I mean, makes sense. It used to be like a tavern and an inn. She also finds out he was supposed to be married to his cousin. Yay! But his cousin was in love with someone else. And that's who probably murdered him. Suze also gets a little visit from her dad, which is really sweet. He passed away about 10 years ago, but he can't move on because Suze isn't happy, and that's what's holding him back. The paranormal mystery in book 2 is straight up bonkers, you guys, okay? Basically, there's this ghost that keeps appearing to Suze, like, I need help! You need to tell him he didn't kill me! You need to tell him he didn't do it! He's innocent! Suze is like, can you tell me your name or his name and maybe approach me when I'm not in the middle of sleeping in the middle of the night? That'd be great. But, of course, it doesn't work like that. Suze starts sort of dating this boy named Tad Beaumont, okay? And everybody thinks his dad is a vampire. And I was like, ooh, we're bringing vampires into this? I didn't remember this from the first read through. Well, his dad is a creepy 45-year-old man that keeps staring at Suze's cross necklace. He doesn't let her leave the room. His nickname is Red, and always keeps his windows closed. And that's enough for Suze to think this dude's a vampire, but it even convinces her high school principal, Father Dominic, who's like the Giles character, and is like, you need to consult me on all these ghost mediating crossing overs that you're doing. And she's like, I think I'm good. But you can help with the research side, because I don't want to read a book. But the part that convinced me for a second that Mr. Beaumont, Tad's dad, was a vampire, because he randomly invites Suze over for dinner, which she goes to. Very bad decision on her part. But she gets there, he doesn't eat any food, and then he drugs his son. His son is just like passed out on the couch. But we find out actually he has a condition that is not vampirism, and his doctors think he has a fixation, and so he believes he's a vampire. Again, not really explained, and kind of weird. The only explanation they say is his wife died like 7 to 9 years ago, and now he thinks he's a vampire. But it turns out he wasn't the one that killed her, and she was the ghost that wanted Suze to tell somebody, he didn't kill me, he's innocent. And Suze doesn't figure this out until after she stabs him in the chest with a pencil and yells at him to eat lead, which I think is the best thing ever, okay? I want to see that in a TV show. I want to see that happen. There's also an amazing part when Suze is in Tad's car in front of her house because he's dropping her off, and they start kissing, and it's her first kiss, so she's all like, "Ah!" And then she shrieks because who's sitting in the car behind them watching them is Jesse, and he just flat face emoji is just like, oh, don't stop on my account, because he is not into Tad. He is like, this Tad guy needs to leave. And I agree. Again, Jesse has superior taste. Jesse knows. He's not like pushing for Suze to be with him or anything yet, but he's just like, yeah, you deserve better, which I love. Father Dominic ends up finding out about Jesse in this book, and he gets all affronted because he's a priest, and he's like, you are a 16, 15-year-old girl and you have a dead man living in your bedroom, which, like, yeah, I normally would be like, that's terrible. But do I have a blind spot for Jesse? Yes, I do. Also, he leaves and, like, isn't there when she's changing or anything weird, but still wouldn't be okay in real life, but he's a ghost and this is fiction, so let me have it. Tad also has a mysterious uncle named Marcus that randomly starts hanging around Sue's as well, and I'm just like, can't anyone recognize that these men are creepy? Turned out Tad's dad wasn't a predator, he just thought he was a vampire. But Marcus, Uncle Marcus, needs to go to jail. Okay? Yeah, he and a couple men corner Sue's after school, like in front of the school, and full on take her in their car. It might be a limo, but it's very obvious they're kidnapping her. And no one says or does anything. But it's pretty awesome because before they can get her in the car, Suze beats the absolute shit out of the two people that he hired as bodyguards. And that is a little bit of justice. But later, Marcus gets what's coming to him. And it is the best fight scene in, well, I wouldn't say fight scene, but it's the best conclusion to one of the mysteries in these books. By far, it is my absolute favorite. Turns out Uncle Marcus was the one who killed Tad's mom over, like, money and their whole family business, whatever. And he's been secretly drugging Tad's dad, his own brother. And that's why Tad's dad thinks he's a vampire. So turns out he was completely innocent the entire time, and he's not crazy. So Suze figures that out all on her own and confronts Marcus at his house, which he has rigged with all this, like, early 2000s, like, ooh, this is the new technology, right? Like, surveillance and, like, the windows lock and automatically and, like, all this weird stuff. He also has a giant aquarium. My favorite thing is Marcus tries to be all sly and, like, ooh, Suze is a teenage girl. I can take her. No, he couldn't. No, he can't. Because Suze is amazing. She definitely has that Buffy unstoppable power. Like, I'm the power of 3 from Charmed, like, nothing can get past her kind of way. She lies about everything and does not make any good decisions ever, almost. But I'm still rooting for her. I've been supporting women's rights and women's wrongs since I was in 6th grade, okay? And I think this is what started it. Basically, they kind of fight. Marcus decides he's going to kill Suze. It's not going to work. He was going to, like, electrocute Suze to kill her or something like that. And tase her or something. I don't even know. But, like, a fire kind of starts. And Suze does the best thing ever, in my opinion. Which is she says, sorry, but dead's not my color, and then just slams a chair into the aquarium, which the water goes all, like, into the room, which Marcus is holding the thing that's, like, electricity, like, dee-dee-dee-dee, so he gets electrocuted and, like, fried. Meanwhile, Suze is standing somewhere safely, and she does not get electrocuted, and I'm so proud of her. She ends up escaping, rescuing Tad, and Jesse helps her too, like, they get out, and it's another, like, ending where it's like, ooh, yeah, everything's gonna be okay, but wait till the next book. And if I haven't given a clear enough picture about why I think Suze is awesome, let me just read you this quote, okay? In spite of the fact that I'd nearly killed a man that night, I didn't have too many problems falling asleep. Seriously. I aspire.